All right. What's going on, everybody? I want to make sure that the sound is good. So if you can hear me, I'm in the chat right now. Do me a favor and let me know that we're good, and then I will start this thing on up. How's everybody doing today? Big Ed, what's going on? Good to see you. Hear me? I'm in the chat right now. All right. So here we go. Today we will be looking at Litecoin. I think this one is set up to be a major market leader in 2020 with the upcoming bull market, Bitcoin breakout, and inevitable transition to global equity assets on the blockchain. So, without further ado, let's make it do what it do and go ahead and make this money. Live from the USA, hoping you get paid every day. This is the boss of Bitcoin, the Cristo of crypto. It's your boy BK. And if you don't like me, you must not like money. Thank you for joining me, everybody. As I mentioned, today we're looking at Litecoin, doing a live stream, technical analysis on the charts, and getting into a little bit of the micro and macro influences with regards to the fiscal policy involved in building out this infrastructure, some of the major players and, movers, shakers, and money makers that are contributing to the inevitable growth of this blockchain technology. So if this is your first time tuning in, congratulations, baby. You are now rocking with the best. My name is BK, known as a crypto trader, and I'm the boss of these charts, as you will soon find out. Every day I grace this microphone with my voice is another day you get the profit as a result. Today is no exception. So do yourself a favor if you haven't done it already. Subscribe right now. Join the money team. 25,000 people have already done the same. And then jump on over to bossofbitcoin.com, where we do have our free crypto trading communities. You can jump on over there right now. First one is the Facebook group. Type it in on Facebook, hashtag one Bitcoin group in the world. It's the number one Bitcoin group in the world. And we have engaging discussions, commentaries, and also some updates on live charts as well. So again, this group is completely free. Come on in, the doors are always open. And then we also have my page on TradingView. You can click that link right there on the website, type my name in, BDKelly1203, and that will take you to the charts that I post. So I'm actually going to be posting this chart to that TradingView page. So in order to see it after the video, just go to the website, click that link, and you will be good to go. So, LTC, today, the price of one Litecoin is $61. I think it's very interesting when you look at Litecoin's long-term story with regards to the development and the emergence of Bitcoin as a global respected technology, currency, status quo. It's a new paradigm. Litecoin has always been like the little brother of Bitcoin. I remember, going back and listening to Charlie D's early discussions, and he described Litecoin to silver as Bitcoin's gold. So that's one of the major comparisons you'll hear, is that Bitcoin is basically digital gold. Well, when he built Litecoin and launched it into the cryptoverse, he described it as being silver. Essentially, it's cheaper, it's faster, supposedly more stable, and more accessible because the price, is a fraction of Bitcoin's price for a presumably faster network. One of the other things I think is the economy. I believe it's 84 million Litecoin in circulation, whereas it's only 21 million Bitcoin. Let's jump on over to Coin Market Cap. We can look at the comparison. So this one doesn't say the supply. Circulating supply is 63 million. Click on this thing. So it's the number 7 coin in the world right now. Top 10 coin, real deal money. 84 million Litecoin forever, right? So essentially it's 4 times as abundant. Which, if pound for pound, everything were equal, this would be 1/4 the price of Bitcoin. So you can see it's way under that margin just given the supply. So that says one of two things. It says that either Litecoin is not as valued as Bitcoin right now, or the technology isn't there, or that this is a buying opportunity, with those expected price levels being to serve as future levels of comparison. So, in putting, the information together for this video, one of the things I came across was this article. I haven't seen this website before, capital.com. I think they're more of a new software, that's kind of launching into the crypto space, just for technical analysis, but they do kind of like these commentaries on the market. And so it says Litecoin can become the best performing altcoin of the decade. And that was back in December of 2019 when this thing was written and released. So it's only 10 years ago, nobody knew what blockchain was. Today, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of well-established and emerging cryptos and using blockchain technology to supplant traditional fiat money. Again, this is the greatest transitional wealth in the history of humanity. If you are not familiar with that concept, then just look up Mike Maloney's Hidden Secrets of Money. And in the later episodes, he actually talks about blockchain, and the benefits of, this inevitable transition. It's essentially a 2,000-year shift from west back to east. And that will be big time predicated on blockchain technology. When you go back and look up these top 10, top 20, top 30 coins, you will see the East is indeed, heavily involved in this infrastructure. Right. All right. And so it goes back to say that back in 2017, Litecoin popped up to $375. That was its all-time high and had a market cap of $19.5 billion. Again, today the market cap is a little bit over $3.5 billion. So you can see that's almost 6-to-1, solid 5-to-1 on that risk-reward ratio if and when we get back up to that 19.5. Now, 19.5 was Bitcoin had a relative price of about 20,000 today. Bitcoin is roughly half of that. So if all things were even, Litecoin would still be north of 9 to 10 billion. We are considerably under that. And another reason justifying this is the price of Litecoin per capita unit of Bitcoin has gone down considerably since that run. It hasn't been like a straight one-to-one line. Like Bitcoin basically lost half its price, whereas when we look at the charts and go back to 2017, Litecoin lost considerably more. Let me just do a quick daily, right? That's on Binance. Let's look up Coinbase. Right, so this was the peak, this 2017 run when they said Litecoin hit like 375. Somewhere up there. You can see this thing just, got kicked in its chest down 85%, over the span of that 2 years, right? So it says, can it fully recover and set some new records after the bumpy ride of the second half of 2019? While this year is coming to an end, some experts say that it's just a drop in the bucket and predict that the coin will hit an overwhelming $600 by 2030. Other takes a bearish stance, believing that yet another crypto winter is about to come and Litecoin will drop as low as $1.50 by the end of 2024. So which one is it? That's what we'll be looking at on this video. One of the tools I used to use, I used to be able to like draw on these little charts. I don't think I have it anymore. Let me see. I don't know where it's at. I think I might have hit it. Yeah. So some major announcements have happened with Litecoin over the past 2 years that I think will be critical and, supplementing the future growth or decline of that entity. In March 2017, Litecoin announced the launch of SegWit. It was a protocol upgrade and pushed its price to $30. Meanwhile, the dev team implemented the Lightning Network, attracting a lot of attention from crypto enthusiasts. By then, it reached $70. And I think the Lightning Network is essentially what will ultimately solidify Litecoin as, a top 10 crypto, top 10 technology from here on out. You have to remember that Litecoin came out before ICOs were even conceived. Charlie Lee basically developed it, redid Bitcoin's code and made a new technology using the same concepts, the same protocols on a brand new network, and basically gave it free to the world. Now, keep in mind, he had miners, that were mining Litecoin the day that, the Genesis block was started. But at the same time, it was like a free launch, to where it was even equity. You can get it. It's going to be launched this day. Just turn your miners onto the script, and start mining it. And so it's a proof of equity coin, just like Bitcoin, where the miners are essentially the investors in the network, kind of doing the hard labor, so to speak, to get the reward of Litecoin. And that's how it's been the entire time, right? And so they said the Litecoin price went as low as $68 by mid-September during the decline. This is what I wanted to get into. What can determine the future price of Litecoin? Does it stand a chance? Well, in early days, it was kind of the leader of its own technology. But today, it's a lot of competitors. When we look at economy coins in themselves, it's not just Litecoin that's a quick currency on the blockchain network. You also have coins like Iota, Cardano that are built using similar protocols. Dash, digital cash, a bigger coin used for industry utilities. Chainlink, this is already integrated in some major technology and major software, major platforms to facilitate the same thing. You also have NIM, which is basically the exact same concept, a privacy, quick currency on the blockchain. And I think, who else do we have in here that does Litecoin's job? Nano, I'm pretty sure, is up there. And then Monaco, which is basically the debit card, crypto.com. That's the utility token for the point of sale debit card, which is already, on Visa's network. So it's not like the early days, quote, early days of 2015, 2016, 2017, where LTC was at the forefront, but nonetheless, they're still a top 10 coin, holding their own here at north of $60, right? And so now, this says price prediction 2020. Based on technical analysis, these guys, right? Litecoin's price will be around 46 and a bit higher in 2021, up to 67. We're already at $60 today. So I think they considerably underestimated, I think, maybe the growth of Bitcoin, because you always have to remember Bitcoin is intrinsically paired to every blockchain technology ever built forever. So when Bitcoin's price went up, this last bounce right here, that intrinsically pushed up the price of Litecoin as well, because you can't go, basically up to Walmart and buy a Litecoin for $1, right? But you can switch your miners over from the Bitcoin network to the Litecoin network, and that's where that change of equity comes from. And that's why you should always measure your wealth in relative terms of Bitcoin, because when Bitcoin's price goes up versus the dollars over time, which it will do because it's a better designed economy, then by definition you get more dollars as well. So all of my charts are charted to Bitcoin, right? And that's what this chart will be, but I'll do a quick one at the end to bring it back to Litecoin for you. And I wanted to get another side of the story. And this is kind of the that chart was, or that article was more of an optimistic view. This is more of a pessimistic view, looking at the down possibilities of the future. Let's see, I've supported Litecoin since it was $2, better than Bitcoin in handling mass transactions. Right. It's a cheaper, faster version of Bitcoin. It's, essentially described as silver to Bitcoin's gold. If you guys haven't done it, hit that thumbs up button for me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Also, if you're on Facebook, do me a favor and share this video. Just copy and paste the URL, text it to your people, post it in Litecoin's, Facebook group on Reddit. Let the LTC community know that this is good content. I definitely want them to be able to get access to it as well. My man said Dash is better. Next stop 5,000. That is very optimistic. Dash is now at $100, but Dash is cash, you know what I'm saying? And I will be doing another video on Dash very, very soon. What about privacy? Dash and ZCash, LTC is not private. Correct. That's also true. And that's I think one of the things this guy talks about a little bit with regards to the downfalls of the network and kind of how it doesn't really hold up to what it's said to, what it's supposed to be doing. Right. So this says a quick success for the self-proclaimed Bitcoin 2.0. Again, this guy is taking a look at all the negatives, contributing to Litecoin's inevitable downfall. So it says success was achieved quite quickly by presenting itself as the Bitcoin 2.0. Litecoin was able to convince many users wishing to diversify their investments, driven by the euphoric success of Bitcoin. Litecoin reached $360. But then, like Bitcoin and many other companies, they crashed, basically lost, $2.8 billion. Actually, we lost much more. This says, but managed to remain in sixth place of the top most capitalized cryptos with a capitalization of 2.8. Okay, so now we're up to like 3.8. So we basically went up, 15-20% since this guy wrote this article. Yeah, we're up to 3.6, right? Back on Earth, Litecoin no longer seeks to be seen as Bitcoin 0, but rather to be a companion that can perfectly complement Bitcoin and its future success. I think that's true. I think, the major partners have come in to almost rebrand the landscape to make Litecoin and its emerging technologies, i.e. the Lightning Network, stand out on their own, right? This talks about the technical differences. I don't really get into that. Wants to be seen as a ground of experimentation. I would also say development. I think the Lightning Network, is basically going to replace or supplement Visa's network on the blockchain. And that's one of the things that, can either be very good or very bad for Litecoin, right? Talks about digital silver. I think one of the things that really did hurt Litecoin, to be honest, is when Charlie Lee sold his Litecoin. Let's look that up real quick. And we'll see how that affected the charts. This was back in April 2018. Litecoin creator, the father, sold his entire holding in December of 2017. Sold and quote donated December 20th, 2017. Right? This is the original post 2 years ago. Sold and donated all my Litecoin. Very good for me financially. I got it for free and the world paid me out handsomely. And this is this was on, it doesn't say the date, but 2 years ago. So we can presume from this article it was the same week as December 20th, right? Maybe a week passed. And if we look at the charts, December 20th, 2017. Again, we need to go to the dollar on Coinbase because they have the longest chart. That would have been right here. That's when Charlie Lee got out, y'all. This was the guy that made it, right? Right at the top. Impeccable timing, Right there. $360. Charlie Lee sold everything. And this thing has just been crashing ever since. We had a nice little bounce, but came right back down. You know, and if you do something like this, look at that. That basically was the beginning of the next cycle. Right? This guy says Lightning is nothing more than a copy of Bitcoin. I don't necessarily agree with that, because while it is a copy, it's built for different purposes. So yes, technically it is a copy, but you know, it's built to do a different thing. It's like, you know, different cars. You got a Ford F-150 and then you have a Honda Civic. You know, they're both built for different purposes. Even though they're both a car, they both got a chassis, a transmission, 4 wheels, an engine, you know, all that good stuff, but they're built for different utilizations. So Bitcoin does not need a companion. Conclusion, Litecoin has long presented itself as Bitcoin 2.0 over time and faced the impossibility of exceeding Bitcoins in terms of users. Its creators have revised its objectives downwards, and the goal has now to be seen a companion. So this is one thing I wanted to touch on. The creators, i.e. Charlie Lee, you know, who's no longer even involved from a financial standpoint, have revised its objections, right? And so what does that mean? I think that could potentially point to this right here. And this actually happened in 2018 at the end of the Litecoin conference they had. They announced or presented a partnership, whether it be official or unofficial. These people actually came on the stage and gave away, you know, offered up a plaque, you know, which Charlie Lee signed with a bunch of other people, officially advocating for this Agenda 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. And this was covered by Bitcoin Ben. He has a video in this Reddit. I'll throw in the link for you guys in the chat, and I'll actually also share it on the comments so you can go back and see it. And so this is the real deal. Like, these are the new partners of Litecoin. It is a nationally recognized technology and foundation in the Litecoin Foundation, right? So one of the things that this guy talks about, because when you type in, you know, Litecoin United Nations, nothing really comes up. But if you dig on YouTube, you can start to find this guy that actually was at that conference, you know, and basically said that it was like the last day, unannounced, last 15 minutes, you know, these guys came up on the stage with this little plaque over here. And that's ultimately describing all of the, you know, SDG Earth ambassadors, all of their, you know, advocations for the world and how Litecoin is going to now be a part of this great initiative, right? And then, of course, they had their memorabilia, which cleverly and conveniently represents a phoenix. And so if you're familiar with occult terminology, you know that the phoenix is indicative of life after death, basically being reborn, being thrown in the fire, coming out, being reborn, and it has that, you know, Litecoin in its mouth right there, right? And then for those of you in the know, you also recognize that, you know, in 1988, The Economist, you know, had a picture of the phoenix with digital currency off eerily reminiscent of Bitcoin around his neck, with standing in a pile full of fiat money on fire, right? So I say all that to say this, that Litecoin LTC, the Litecoin Foundation, is indeed connected with some big time power players in the world, right? This is not, you know, 7-Eleven convenience store mom and pops around the corner down the street. These are, you know, essentially the movers and shakers and money makers for the world, you know. And Litecoin is integrated in that discussion, right? Whether or not many people know about it. I don't think a lot of people do know about it, which is exactly why I did this video, to give you guys the information so that you can be more informed and make a better educated decision on future financial allocations. But what the charts say, right? I say all that to say this. The charts say that Litecoin is a buy, and it has been, you know, for quite some time now. Even if you wait for the intersection with the 77 over to 231, you know, you would have got in at a pretty good price. If you're just trading on the boss method, you know, straight by yourself, then congratulations, you bought back in at 41, you know, now you're sitting up north of 30%, 48, 30%, like a boss, right? So let's jump in on LTC to the BTC on a 343. And this is what I really wanted to show you guys. You have different levels built into this chart. That is one price level right there where basically the energy flatlined, and this is another one right here where we more or less fell off the cliff. Now, once we break through that level right there, that's where we're gonna go. It's literally as simple as that. If you want to know the different levels built into that transition, well, guess what? You just freestyle on a Fibonacci, connect them two intersections, bam, bam, and that's what you got. Notice that you do get confirmation at this capstone energy right there. So this shows you that these levels are basically built into the chart, and this is where Litecoin will continue to break out over time, given a healthy Bitcoin market, right? I think we'll probably get above this line right here, right? And that's going to be on or before February 12th. That's when you'll see Litecoin finally break above 0.07, 007, right? Satoshis. And if you take this thing all the way out, you'll have a very, very healthy March, April, and then May, you can look to see Litecoin up another 30%. So essentially, you got about 6 weeks in between the time that we break 7,000 and the time that we consolidate down from 92, right? And this is built into the charts. Like a lot of times, you know, you can literally just do, you know, simple sine wave, and that will show you again the exact same area that this energy is peaking out. So what day is that? That's going to be June 7th. So February, we're still flatlining, consolidating. As soon as we break 7,000, add 6 weeks, you know, and you got another 30% on LTC, right? I think this is one of the biggest coins on the blockchain that does have some major partners, some major players, a little bit of drama behind it, but that's what makes it worth buying, you know. Buy the rumor, sell the news. And so it's like, if nobody's talking about a certain entity, a certain product, that's probably when you want to be looking at it. And like, I had to dig back to 2018 to find a lot of this relative information that I believe is providing the infrastructure and the landscaping for Litecoin to continue to be one of the top blockchain technologies in the world. So like it, love it, or leave it. LTC will be making some real deal money. And now's your time to get involved, get invested, get integrated, you know, with that future growth. And for those of you that don't know, now you know. That is how you chart like a boss. So there you go, people. Let's jump into chats real quick. Oh, I wanted to publish this. Let me publish this. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to jump them in the chat right now. I'm going to post this chart on the TradingView page. For everybody. There you go. And then that's it, right? I'm gonna go long here. 1, 2, 3. So there you go. That's posted live on the TradingView page. Again, if you want to see it, jump on over to Boss of Bitcoin. Click this link right here on TradingView and follow me on there, BDKelly1203. In addition to that, everybody, I do have some products and packages available for you. The most popular right now is the Profit Package, top 7 coins to swing trade every 7 days. And that is definitely one of the most profitable or, more popular options. If you have more, than $5,000 in the market and you want to get detailed analysis, free insights from some of the top traders in the world, we do have our Boss Alert messages group. That's $200 for the first month, $50 for the first month for the Profit Package. And it's a 24-hour community. Both of them have their own private Telegram page, and I give them updates just about every day to keep them profitable and prosperous in the marketplace, right? So that's always an option. bossofbitcoin.com for more information. And let's see what our people are saying. If you're in the chat right now, you can also do me a favor and shout your country out. I'm going to get to you guys very, very shortly here, right? Let's see. LTC is still not private. That's correct. But I don't think it's built to be private, right? It's built to basically supplement the infrastructure of the blockchain and offer a faster, quicker, publicly identifiable transaction. And again, I mentioned other coins that are built to be private. NEM, ZCash, XTZ, some of these coins are better privacy coins because that's not what Litecoin is built to do. I didn't know this. Litecoin Foundation, the non-profit associated with Litecoin, has acquired 10% of Germany's WEG Bank, opening door for crypto to become a part of mainstream banking. I did not know that. So let's look that up real quick. Oh, wow, they said 30%. CoinDesk. 30% by crypto companies, but 10% specifically by Litecoin. Token Pay. Wow. It's interesting. And it'll be really interesting too, like if, this next recession comes and a lot of banks go under, what if these crypto companies step in and start buying them? That would be crazy, right? That could happen. Because if you look at who's involved behind the scenes, like Poloniex is owned by Goldman Sachs. Circle is owned by Goldman Sachs. Circle is owned by Poloniex, which is owned by Goldman Sachs. Litecoin is in on this bank right here, which is also in with the United Nations. So it's crazy. It's like all this stuff is happening right now. Dash is #1 in South America and used every day. Yes, it is. Especially after, a lot of the turbulent issues they've had with their society. I know the Dash team went down to Venezuela, just to build out their infrastructure, to give those people, access to a stable currency amidst the hyperinflation that was going on with their own money. It was crazy. Much love to you and your family from LA. We appreciate you too. Thank you for watching. I follow the work of the digital currency group. Good stuff. Bitcoin and Litecoin use fundamentally different algorithms. Correct. I enjoy your content. Thank you, Edward. I enjoy you as well. So there you go. I've supported Litecoin since it was $2, hometown, convenience store. Just got a Bitcoin ATM machine today. Yeah, I've seen a lot of Bitcoin ATMs like pop up in gas stations, you know, when I travel. So it's really cool to see that the distribution, you know, is getting out there and just making it accessible. Like I said, like if these banks go down and all these ATMs can't give people money through the banks, well, guess what? They got them crypto ATMs right there next to it. You know, so it's like you come for apples, you'll leave with oranges. So there you go. If you're seeing this after the live stream, make sure to shout your country out or your city in the chat or in the comments section. Let me see if I could show some people some love that went and did that on the last video. ATMs can't give people money through the Nope. Want to pause that. 42 people watching. What's going on? Appreciate you. Let's jump over here. To see what the latest. There's content as always. Nobody told me their city. Yeah, so shout your city out in the comments, guys. I want to come back on and shout you out, you know. 90 crypto, appreciate it. And then I'll definitely be doing a chart on XLM in the upcoming weeks and XRP as well for you guys. So there you go, man. This is what we got. LTC is a breakout pending. They got some major support behind the scenes. You know, you got people on both sides of the fence. Will it go up? Will it go down? You know, the biggest, strategy I could recommend for you is to definitely trade with the boss method. This method is based on, numerology. It can't be broken, the 7 and 77, and it works. So if you want to learn how to trade Bitcoin like a boss, like I said, drop your email up top right there, and then come on into the profit package, the different free communities we got, and learn how to make some real deal money in the market. This is the greatest transition of wealth in the history of humanity. So thank you for taking the time to invest with me today. I appreciate each and every one of you. Like, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. Share this with the Litecoin community. I'm going to repost it in Facebook groups, but I know we got some major Redditors out there. Let them know that this is indeed a chart that they want to look at, and then have some equity in and get involved, get integrated, get invested for this next big swing cycle. I think the spring of 2020 will be showing a lot of green, to the people that are invested. So there you go. With that being said, everybody, it's that time of the day. Signing out. Boss. Boy BK, no matter where you stay. Brazil to Bay, California, all the way back out through Jerk. My name. Good night, good morning, and good day. Thank you for joining. Thank you for your time. Hit that thumbs up button for a player one time. Do that for me if you appreciate mine. Till we meet again. Stay cryptic, y'all. Peace.
Like a boss. Arms.